Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Does anybody have any edits to the November 14th minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Abstain?
Jeff, is Jeff there? I can't see Jeff.
Yeah, I'm abstaining.
So he's abstaining, right?
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
601.
601, yes. All right, so for regular business, agenda item 4, pursuant to RSA 676:4, IB and ID, in Appendix A, subdivision, Appendix B, site plans, and Section 32-45AB2 of the Municipal Code of the Town of Newmarket, New Hampshire, a continuation of a public hearing shall be held for an application filed by CC Railroad Street Newmarket LLC requesting a boundary line adjustment, site plan review, and special use permit approval for 11,000 square foot mixed-use 3-story building comprising 41 one-bedroom apartments and 2,500 square feet of commercial space with associated utilities and parking facilities located on real property with an address at 3 Railroad Street, tax map U3, lot 138A, and 5 Railroad Street, tax map U4, lot 16, M2A, and R2 zoning districts. Alrighty, so Bart, we have received comment letters from the GPI and Underwood engineers, correct?
That's correct, they're in front of everyone.
And we have no other comments from anybody else at this point?
None received.
Okay, so what my opinion is that, at the next meeting, I hope that the applicant is prepared to respond to these between now and then, so we have a chance to look at them before the meeting. Having said that, I'll offer the applicant, if they're there, because I can't see very well, an opportunity to come up and give us an update on where they are and where they want to go.
Yeah. Hi, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, great. My name is Ryan Udock. I'm with Horizons Engineering. And yes, we received the Underwood and GPI comments. Due to the time frame of when we received the comments, we don't have the formal response prepared for tonight's meeting. We fully expect to in the near future, and definitely with adequate time before March's planning board meeting. So tonight, we do, on the civil side, we do have plenty of the Underwood comments addressed. We're still kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's on some of the nuanced things. But, we accept those comments and agree with them. Our revised submittal will have all of them adequately addressed. So tonight's meeting, and thank you all for your time tonight, is we just want to make sure that there's nothing outside of those 2 comment letters from GPI and Underwood, that any other concerns that aren't highlighted in those comment letters, we just kind of want to make sure we capture in tonight's meeting. So those letters, we agree with those, like I said, and they're mostly addressed at the moment. Just like I said, due to the nature of the short timing, we don't have all of it at the moment. So that's kind of our goal tonight, and just wanted to just present it to the board again and just make sure that everything's covered.
Great, okay. Thank you, Ryan. I guess I'll start. From my perspective, I have nothing that's outside of these letters. So if these letters are addressed as far as I'm concerned, I'm fine. I'll throw it out to the rest of the board. Does any of the board members have any other concerns that are outside of these review letters, one from Underwood Engineers and one from GPI?
One item I didn't see in here, and I might be missing it, is if the infiltration basin isn't able to capture a large storm event, and we talked about it at the TRC meeting. And, so if it doesn't catch it all and it's able to flow out to the outlet that's shown in the southwest corner of the property.
Yeah.
We weren't sure where that water was gonna go, if it's gonna go down the hill directly onto the neighbor's property and then over in.
Yeah,
It could be a
good,
lot of,
good
a lot of
question.
flow, so.
Yeah, that got brought up earlier. We did revise our plans. I'm not sure if it was, totally circulated, and I guess just big picture, you know, like I said, we got a couple more I's to dot, T's to cross, so we'll compile everything into one final entire package. But to answer your question, the water will not flow onto the neighbors and out. It's basically intended to, you know, go directly to Moonlight Brook. So that's what our design will show, and yeah. So
Okay, I just didn't want it to get missed in case it wasn't in these comments and it wasn't
yeah.
remembered. from
And
the
just to
TRC,
clarify,
so.
it will only you know, export to Moonlight Brook during the 100-year event. So we oversized it big time to capture the 210 and 50. So we're super conservative with the stormwater for this one, just because we understand the historic nature of Moonlight. So it really won't be much. It's a 100-year storm, but if it does, it'll go directly to the brook.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any other questions, concerns? Bart, did we talk about the potential for a waiver request?
Yeah, Mr. Seddons reached out to me today and was thinking about it. So I just gave him the impact fee schedule. So I haven't received anything. It was just, no, I just noted today that it might come.
Okay, so if that gets submitted, obviously we'll take it up
Yeah.
at the next meeting.
Yeah, the only one that we would really look at is the school, because it's all one bedrooms.
Okay,
Yep.
yep.
So yeah, just include it in the package.
Yep.
Yep.
And then
I am Adam Morrill. I'm representing the architectural team on this project. One of the other items we wanted to address, it didn't come up in the prior meeting. If there are any comments on the architectural design of the exterior or the layout of the building as it relates to entrances or other items. We tried looking at several different massing opportunities, whether it be a flat roof or gabled roof. And due to the nature of the site and its location along South Main Street, we felt it was most appropriate to present what we've come up with. And I'll wait while Bart pulls it up. We just wanted to make sure that if there were any other comments on that, we would address that.
I know at the TRC meeting, I did notice that there's a potential for an overhang in the front of the building on South Main Street that may overhang into the right of way.
yeah, we're gonna put in a waiver for that.
Okay.
I think that's in our package.
Okay, does anybody else have anything else they'd like to add? Either the applicant or any board members?
I think this, I was gonna say, Eric, this might be a good time just to review the special use permit criteria, because there's a little nuance there because of the variance obtained. So this will require being a multifamily residential building, will require a special use permit, so it's mixed use actually. So they got parking relief. So one of the criteria is, has a variance, so that's C, but I'll just go through them. Just so planning board shall require a fiscal impact study to be completed by a consultant selected by the town, paid for by the applicant, shows multifamily residential mixed-use project with 3 or more residential units. Will not have a negative fiscal impact on the town. So the applicant has provided something, he's done it in the past, and, for this project. Is the board comfortable with what the applicant has submitted? I'll just pull it up. That one's been updated, right, Ben?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Full review, so yeah. Okay.
Just gonna correct what I said in case Sue's taking notes. I didn't mean the right of way. I meant the right of way setback.
So this is in the planning boards, you have this already, but just review it when you get a chance. You know, we don't have to go through this right now, but it has been submitted, so. And then next is a market analysis. I think this one was a little variance. So, you know, in that the applicant's wondering if what has been submitted is adequate, or I think it was determined at the last meeting. But then I'll just bring it up.
I think it's residential survey report.
Okay. Sorry. Right there. Yeah, so this is,
We also have the report from 2020.
yeah, so there was a market analysis done for when this got approved for 8 units. It was 2022, so the question is the board satisfied with the 22 in market analysis based on current trends? And then also submitted here is a supplemental material from New Hampshire Housing from 2023. So combining those two together, you know, is the board satisfied with the, what has been submitted? So be good to get an answer from right now, just so we're not wasting time.
Yeah, and just a little, you know, it's, we're happy to do it, it's an additional cost, but with vacancies at 0.6%, it's almost a way, I could see, this came about when, probably in the 80s or 90s, when vacancy was really high, and there was a lot of building going on in Newmarket, and they got concerned that it was being overbuilt and not enough people move in. But at this point where we are in a housing crisis in New Hampshire, it's, you know, we have 0.6% vacancy rate right now, which is.
So maybe just have a discussion, pause right here, have that discussion.
I'm okay with what's been submitted.
We'll just go down the line, Jeff.
I'm okay.
Good. Jane?
All set?
Abby?
Good.
Fine. Tim? Scott?
Yeah, it's 0.6%.
Yeah. Eric, you good?
Yes, I'm good.
All right. All right, moving forward. Next one, relief was granted by the ZBA. The project shall have at least 2 on-site parking spaces per residential unit. So applicants requesting less. I think 41 spaces. 61, excuse me.
62?
62,
yeah.
yeah.
1 or 2,
Yeah.
Yeah, 62 today.
So, and it's 41 units, yeah, and then there's gonna be, you know, commercial there, you know, and then during the night hours, you know, it's gonna be shared use almost, so it's kind of the idea. So the next criteria is a multifamily, residential use with no, so that one doesn't apply, cause there's, commercial use. Then, no residential unit shall be located in the street level space of the building and it has frontage on North Main Street, South Main Street, Exeter Road. Also, variance was granted by the ZBA for this one. Since the parcel, the lot does front South Main Street. So there will be residential units. And then the last one, which no relief was granted, but which the applicant appears to have satisfied, is multifamily residential condominium use. It's condominiums, all rentals, but shall unit in the zone shall not exceed 1,200 square feet and not have more than 2 bedrooms. Residential apartments, which this qualifies under in this zone, shall not exceed 1,000 square feet and not have more than 2 bedrooms. And just to confirm, meet that criteria. So those are it. So,
Thank you, Bart. I guess unless anybody has any more comments or questions at this point, I'll entertain a motion to continue to, was it March 19th, Bart?
correct.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Just amendments 7 p.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 7-0.
Can we just pause there for a second? Before, yeah. Do you guys agree to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Since we're past the 65 days, I just want to make sure. All right, we're good, Eric.
Okay.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Alrighty, next is a continued review of proposed amendments to the site plan review regulations. So I've gone through them, probably one too many times now. But unless, I guess I'll open it up for discussion if anybody has any comments or concerns, but if nobody has any, I think we just can move this on to schedule a public hearing. But I'll certainly open it up first for any comments or questions or modifications that anybody may want to make. So whoever wants to start, feel free. No? So I think, the silence means everybody's good for now. We're good to at least put this to a public hearing and see what kind of comments we get.
We can still offer changes later, at a later date, if we see anything.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to have them now. We can do that. At the public hearing, we can amend it. We just gotta make sure we're not going like totally off base on what was advertised for, that's all. Then you have to renotice.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any
Yeah.
major thoughts at all.
Okay.
I just
So
didn't-
if it's a textual, like some text and, syntax and, it meets the purpose, but maybe slightly a little different, I think that's fine.
Hey, Bart.
Yes. Eric.
Could you ask Jeff to just lean a little bit closer to his mic when he talks? I have trouble hearing him, so I didn't hear what the question was or concern.
I had just asked if something comes up between now and the next meeting that we notice, if we could still offer changes then. I think Bart was just saying, as long as it's not some huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just was looking at the town boards commission members, and I know we had spoke about potentially having a member from the Conservation Commission being a required member, maybe? I know it says they can appoint other members.
Yep.
I didn't know if that was something folks thought might be a good idea in case, because things can move forward straight from the TRC. If we want Conservation Commission input on something, if there's a wetland impact, it would be a good opportunity, probably.
Right. That definitely could be added to the text. So, how does everyone feel about that?
I
I
agree.
think it's fine.
Correct. Eric, you good with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yep, that can be added. Thanks. You're welcome.
So if we have no further comment, I guess I'll entertain a motion to put this on the, you want to do this on the March 19th?
Yeah, let's put it for that.
meeting? Bart?
Yes, please. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 7-0, thank you all. Onward. Next is new old business. Chairman's report, I have nothing to report. Committee reports, any committee reports out there?
Yeah, so, energy and environment. So, everybody who is a ratepayer, electric ratepayer, I don't know if that would exclude anybody, but that might exclude somebody, should have received their notice in the mail about the switch over to community power. And so you actually, once you get past your most recent billing cycle, you should switch over. So the current default rate for people will be the 8.1 cent rate, which is the lowest rate you can have in the state currently. And then if you want, you can pay more to have 100% clean energy. A couple important things to point out to people. If you are enrolled in an alternative already, you will remain with that alternative. So if you were in like Direct Energy, you signed a contract with them, you would remain in that contract. If you want to switch at any point to the lower rate with Community Power, you can do that, but there's usually a penalty with those other providers. That's something you should explore with that provider. And then the last thing is, if you are a net metering person, whether you're in the original net metering program or your post-2017 net metering, that means you have solar panels on your roof, we would recommend that you're not going to want to enroll at this time, because there is no process in place to net meter those customers with Community Power. That could change. We hope it will change in the future, but that's true at this point. Community Power is supposed to get information about who is enrolled in net metering, and you shouldn't be switched over, but I would recommend everybody who's in net metering still reach out to Community Power and make sure, because the list is provided by Eversource, and there could be a mistake on it. They could fail to notify Community Power about somebody in net metering, and then you would get switched over. So that's really it. Everybody should have gotten a handout. I hope you read through it closely. If you have any questions, we had a public hearing. We had about 25 people show up and answered questions for about an hour and a half, I think. And so it seems like most people were pretty excited about it. So that's it.
I know I got mine, and I was very impressed. It was a very thorough presentation they put together, and relatively easy to understand. So
Good.
I think it very good.
That's good. Right. That's it. The one other thing, this isn't a committee thing, but I don't know if Bart saw this. There was an article in the paper, like Seacoast Online, about the impact to fire departments from 55 plus communities. And that was because when there's a 911 call, they can't just send the ambulance, they have to send the emergency as well. So if it was just an ambulance call, the money gets paid back, right? We know that. But when you involve the fire department, that's where the cost is hitting. I listed like 4 or 5 towns in the Seacoast that actually are sort of upside down because of that on their fire costs.
I know that, we have a scanner in the office and we hear the calls, and it does go to one particular place often.
Yeah. So it's just something we might want to think about in master planning. That's all is that we might be underestimating the cost of fire calls in those communities. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't aware of that.
Jeff, Conservation
Oh,
Commission?
Conservation, sorry, I was writing a note. Conservation Commission, we spent a lot of time on master plan stuff. The big thing we worked through was a checklist for conservation. So redoing the checklist that was developed for the Open Space Committee and how lands are assessed for conservation. So we spent quite a bit of time on a checklist.
Maybe bringing up, site visits. That came up as an idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe talk about that.
Site visits, which
For planning board, like, for environmental impacts, when planning board does site visits, this might be a good checklist as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then maybe send out conservation.
With the planning board.
Right, so the conversation was, it was late.
It was. It was at 9:30.
Basically, maybe during site visits, inviting a conservation commission member there just so, during the site visit, and usually we do because, Jeff, or whoever, is our member, or at least their shared member, with the Conservation Commission, but, that might have just a different set of eyes, fresh pair of eyes, and different angle, looking at things, and that, could contribute to project development. So, we thought, might be something to consider when developing this checklist and using that, during site visits, just to kind of be more for informational purposes for the planning board when they're making their decisions. So,
Yeah, I remember that part.
yeah. It's okay.
Sorry, folks. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
That's why Bart should do these. He's lucky to come to every meeting. Other than that, we're just doing, the Conservation Commission is doing quite a bit of work around town. And I'll just point out as well that the train station got moved, that we reviewed. It's sitting on blocks, or unless they dropped it down, but it was moved off the foundation over to the new foundation. But I don't really have anything else from conservation, besides that we worked a lot on the master plan stuff, so.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Jane?
Okay.
No updates?
Scott, you always have something from the company, correct?
The last town council meeting, we agreed that we have an issue with bacteria growth in the sewer system of the final effluent before it goes into the river, and so we're buying covers for that area to keep the sunlight out of it. These are, $180,000 covers, and then we have, the town offers tax breaks for elderly citizens below a certain income. And we're in the process of reevaluating the levels because we haven't changed them in a long time. And then finally, Newfield has asked if they could bring recycling to Newmarket. And so we have an agreement that they can bring it to the dump there, the recycling center, for $5 for a blue bucket, sorry. If they want to do that.
Do they have curbside?
I don't think so, I don't know. I don't think they have it at all, so they were looking for some way to do recycling. And apparently, $5 a blue bucket is a pretty substantial margin for Newmarket.
I'd be curious to see how many people take them up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I thought they already were taking, I thought they already had that ability to go to the
No,
transfer station.
we had it in the
Oh,
past,
okay. Maybe
but
that's what I
it's,
remember.
but it hasn't been for a while.
Was that by contract that you did this?
Yeah, this is between, it was between Jeff and the town manager of Newfield. But it was approved by the town council. Sorry, by Steve, I'm sorry.
Well, they can bring it to my house for $4. I'm a mile from the dump, I can have the money just shoveling stuff to the dump.
Yeah. Business opportunity.
Always thinking.
That's not permitted use, Eric.
Anybody else have anything?
Scott, when's the warrant article? Is it the 12th? That's right, the warrant article's coming in?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I would assume it, because we're meeting on the 19th, that's the third Tuesday, so
Yeah.
it must be
Second
the
Tuesday.
12th is,
Town meeting.
just so
Yeah.
people know, yeah.
Yeah, so we have several things in the warrants for sewers related stuff. Most of them we get the money back from the state. They're basically free to us.
Are these the covers that Sean put in the CIP several times?
Probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Over and over?
They're
think
called
so.
Louder,
I think so, yeah.
Launder.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that my term is up. I think April 4th is when they officially end. I have decided not to pursue another term, so I appreciate everybody's time due to a lot of conflicting work and personal concerns, as I'm sure everybody has, but
I've enjoyed my time and probably will hopefully look to something to support the town in the future, when the time's right. So I'll be at the March meeting and that'll be my last one, so thank you very much, everybody.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you,
for your
Tim.
service.
Yes, Tim, thank you for serving on the board, really appreciate it.
Yeah. It's been a learning experience, I've enjoyed it, so.
Very, been a good asset, thank you. Bart, do you have anything for planners report?
Just a couple things. One, master plan update. We are gonna have our visioning session, big visioning, and it's gonna be tied to it, housing and open space related workshops on March 16th. The venue will be determined. We think we have a spot. We have one locked up, but we just need to confirm a couple things. So I don't want to announce it just yet, but in the next week and a half, they'll be announced. So March 16th from around 8:30 to 2. And then venue or, location to be TBD. So so that's exciting. We're, planning that right now. Really looking forward to that. Got some good workshops, some ideas, and then I think the main event. I think hopefully we can get a lot of people there and contribute and really make this a set off on the right foot. So so more information to come. And then moving to our rezoning effort in the North Main Street. That will really start kicking up after visioning, after that workshop. Our consultant, Ivy Van, she's doing her preliminary work, her preliminary research and everything, and developing just some structure right now in the ordinance, but she'll be approaching the board relatively soon as well to start working with them in developing this ordinance. So, and also reaching out to affected neighborhoods, that would be affected by this rezoning effort. So, again, we got the data, the housing survey data. We had 406 respondents, which is, pretty good. And then, so we'll be taking that information and then meeting with different neighborhoods, within North Main Street and points east, to really understand their concerns and, challenges and, opportunities. So that's kicking off pretty soon, next month. And then, let's see what else I got here. There's a bunch of legislation out there. I won't bore with everyone, but I can send a letter out, just showcasing what's out there, being considered at this legislation session. One is allowing for 2 ADUs. One is allowing for duplex by right, throughout towns, municipalities. Then a few more other items. So I can send that to you soon, just so you're informed, and if you want to write to the legislator at all, expressing your concerns or support. And then that's really in a nutshell.
Okay, great. Thank you, Bart. So, Jane, time for you.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made, second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion passes 7-0.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Bart,